You guys can see I got the hideaway grill installed. Is getting into this box here. I've been dreading this a little bit. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm not gonna lie, it is super hot today, and I'm doing a little bit of cleaning slash buttoning up a few things in the engine bay. We still got a lot to do, believe it or not, in the engine bay, but I started thinking, and I really have to start trying to connect some of these harnesses up from the Hemi package that comes in that kit. But this car has no wiring whatsoever, so I think what we're going to try to attempt to do today is, we got this bad boy here, some American Autowire, and we need to basically lace the entire car before we start really getting into all the aftermarket harness and components that we're going to be putting into it, because we need something to hook up to, right? So we're going to go ahead and unbox this thing real quick and see, and kind of maybe try to lay out the harness on the body as much as possible to see where we need to add power, where we need to run certain wires and things like that, because the last thing I want to do is start running some of this wiring and then something else goes there, or something doesn't reach, or we need power there and we don't have power here, or we can utilize power in both areas. It's just a lot of thinking and strategizing and things like that. So we might as well get the car kind of laced in a sense. That way we can start hooking up the rest of the components. So let's see what we got. If you guys are interested, I will put down a link down in the description below to this kit, 68 through 70. You guys need a all new wiring kit. Now, some of this stuff we're probably not going to use, and we're probably going to get rid of a bunch of stuff that we don't need anymore, because this is all for a stock motor and we don't have that. So we're gonna basically eliminate a bunch of things we don't need. So what's all this here? We're gonna have to kind of go through that a little bit, but not much. Let's see what we got. Looks like dash stuff, maybe. We're gonna have to open up these one at a time. Instrument cluster, we won't open that yet. Classic updated series floor console kit. I think what I'm gonna look to do today is like the tail lights, headlights, things like that, engine bay, things are gonna be running into the front of the car, because we want to account for power if we need it in certain areas. So this might be a good one to open up. Let me open some of this stuff up and I'll let you guys see what it looks like. Open up the can of worms, boys. Oh, loady load load. Yes, sir. Okay, boys. So the trick is, I don't know, this can get very overwhelming really quick. The trick is, I think personally, when it comes to wiring, is start in one area of the car at a time. We're going to start with probably the main area, which is the dash slash firewall. So this is your main harness, right? This is the one that everything hooks up to. So this guy here is your bulkhead. This will go through the firewall. We're going to put it in the stock location, you know, because I've never done one of these personally and I don't feel like relocating everything. So that goes through the firewall. We're going to mount that through the firewall. And then this is obviously the guy that goes on the other side. This is the engine bay harness. And then we'll basically route everything like it's supposed to for now. And once we have everything landed, then we'll figure out what we need and don't need, and we'll go from there. Now, I think this is definitely like an upgrade from American Autowire, I should say. This is the fuse box, and they want this in the glove box, so we're gonna have to end up routing this to the passenger side over there in the glove box area. But let me see if I can try to mount this. I don't have any of the stock hardware, so we'll see what we can use. American Autowire here, like they give you this little template, right? You got to stick on the firewall, right? And you got to drill those two holes out to hold that. And I just don't like how those things look, man. They're just so at a weird angle and things like that. Just aesthetically, it looks like crap. I should have turned the whole bulkhead and maybe done them the other way, where at least they were coming over here maybe. Either way, they look like crap. I don't know why the hell they would do something like that. And those are the hardware they give you, and yeah. They don't look too good. We're gonna either have to paint them up or what? Oh Lord, look at that. Look at that. Yes, sir. We got some tail light action, boys. So I kind of left you guys hanging when we were doing the wiring up front, and I jumped to the back, and good reason, just because I was trying to get a lot of this car wired in, just because there was no wiring when I got this car. I mean, there was nothing on the car, I should say. You guys can see we got pretty much the back wiring all figured out here as far as all the lighting goes. Now we did end up doing the Digi-Tails LED conversion on these guys. I didn't really go over it just because, like I said, I'm still not feeling all the way 100%, and so I was just kind of working on this inside the house as much as I could. I'd take it, work on it inside the house a little bit and all that, and put the little, but all it is a little digital LED circuit board. You just pop it in, you take these housings off, and then you replace that, put it in there, screw it on, and then you have a little harness that comes off, and then you splice it in and all that, add power, ground, the turn signal, all that, parking light. You'll see. If you guys are interested in that LED conversion kit, I'll see if I can put a description down below. I don't remember the part numbers really too much on those because Paul ordered these a long time ago. I wanted to get the rear of the car wired in so that way we didn't have to worry about those lights. And then you guys remember when we were working up front, so we got the wire routed, I should say, routed. So this is kind of just sitting here, nothing finished and finalized, but this will go here, obviously. You know, this will go just like that. It'll bolt to the other side of the dash harness. We took that off because we got to work on the dash side as well, but that'll go in like that. I got it coming down and underneath this fender, and that's what we got here now. So now we just got it sitting here. So we have to wire up, these are all for the lights and from the front of the car, so we got to wire all that up. And I actually was working on the grill / headlights because we need that before we can put it in. So this is that grill assembly / headlight assembly deal. This was actually a pain in the butt, you guys, because I have never worked on a Mopar before, and this is my first time. So it's been a super learning curve trying to figure out how everything goes and actually works. So that was very time consuming. But these are the Dapper lighting, guys. We went with the old Dapper lighting. You can see these are some badass headlights. Really, they do make a really nice product. So these are the ones we went with. We're still actually missing one headlight bracket or bucket, I should say, so you guys can see how it looks. So we're missing a headlight bucket. That's why that one's not in, but the rest of them are in. And I also got, you guys can see, I got the Hideaway grill installed as well, and new actuators. So we're not using the vacuum actuators, we're using actually a motorized actuator. The guy who makes them, actually, believe not, he lives here in Nevada in Pahrump. I'll see if I can find a link to put it down in the description below. But let me turn this thing around so you can see what I'm talking about. Like I said, boys, this took me so many days to figure out. Like I said, I've been working on this for over a week, believe it or not. Obviously, with me not feeling good doesn't help. But I did not know how any of this stuff went. It took me a lot of research, not to mention I didn't know I was missing parts. Like I was missing this bracket here, I was missing this bracket here. We had to order that, but it was just a learning curve to try to figure all this stuff out. And not only that, hardware, I had to figure out what exactly hardware fit and all that. It was such a pain in the butt. I'm sure this will be easier for you guys if you guys have a put together car already. But these are the lights from Dapper. So all we doing is got a little pigtails here for high beam, low beams. That's it. And then here, these are the actual harness for the actual halos. So all I did was put a little connector on each one of them because I want those to be serviceable on their own if you ever need to replace one. But this is the bad boy right here, the new actuator. That's the new actuator right there, that it takes in place of the vacuum actuator. It comes with the harness, and it comes obviously passenger, driver. and then you just got to hook it up to that guy there. But it says not to hook it up. We're gonna run them first once we get power to the car and make sure they're going up and down, they're traveling like they're supposed to, and then we'll hook up this guy here and see how it actually works and functions. It does come with this box here. This is like a control module. All I did was put some wire loom on that whole thing, but it's a little control module. You're gonna have to add power, ground, and then I forget what the green one's for. I gotta look it up here. I check the instructions, but that's that guy there. I'm not gonna mount that guy there once until I get the grill mounted and in position. Then we'll find a spot for it. But you guys can see that harness runs all the way down and to the other side here and hooks up there. So that way you're actuating that door open and close. But like I said, we will hook all that stuff up, power and ground and everything else, once we get this on the car. So as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that now, boys. We'll go ahead and install this guy here. I forgot to mention, obviously, you guys saw we have the tail light harness, so we ran the harness through the car, alongside of the car, through there, all there, and then it comes up down there below. But I just have it ran on the side of the car there, and then the actual dash harness will hook up to that guy, obviously. Well, boys, I'm irritated. This grill is back out for I don't know how many times now. I mean, not today, but since we've been working on it. So I had this thing mocked up I don't know how many times now, you guys, and like I said, it's super frustrating when you don't know anything about the car, let alone you didn't take a car apart ever, or didn't take this car apart. And so long story short, I went to put this on a while ago, and these studs that hold this core support onto the car were sheared off, right? So I took it upon myself to cut it off and then drill a hole, right, and just use a bolt and washer and a nut to hold this radiator support on. And that's what I've been doing since. I went to go put this on right now, and you can't put this bolt in because now that I have the grill in, there is no room in there to get anything to get that on. This is just not going to happen. So, and they knew this when they designed it, so they actually welded these studs on, however they put them on, epoxied, whatever, from the factory, and that's why they were the way they were. So I'm gonna have to do is just weld that guy right there in place and leave it there, and then just put our nut on the back side, because there's no other way unless you replace this entire thing and all that. So I'm just gonna end up welding this guy there, welding all four of them, because there's no way we're gonna get that bolt in there without having this stud already here. Finally, boys, finally this freaking thing is in. Hopefully it's for the last time for me at least, but what a pain in the butt, y'all. 68 Charger, duly noted pain in the ass. But I know it's still missing like some molding and stuff like that around the grill. I'm not going to handle any of that molding stuff because I know he still has to get painted and all that jazz. I'm not going to do any of that, but I am going to try to get this bracket for this headlight. You see that? We're missing the one there, and this side are both there at least. That looks freaking good, huh? Look at those Dapper lightings, boys. Those look good. I wish I could turn them on for you, but I still got to run power to the actual car, the actual battery. We got the Optima, but we got to mount everything still, and run an actual cable up to the front up here. But at least the grill is in. I can finish up the wiring with just the headlight wiring here. This is headlight, parking light, and all that jazz. So we'll finish that up. Not today though, not today, because it is freaking getting hot. And you guys, man, sorry if I'm not myself lately. Like I said, I'm still still recovering from this COVID chingadera. But hopefully soon I'll be back. But you guys, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the bell for notifications. And you guys already know, stay wrenching.